Yeah.
We could do a little like countdown video so that right when we hit the live button, like the first thing is the intro or us being weirdos with some cool music or something. We could totally do that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll figure out an edit for that.
Yeah, we'll do something sweet. What's up, everybody? Happy. Hey, what am I saying? It's been so long. It's been so long. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Let's play the intro.
I just wanted to say hi. Okay, play the intro. Yeah. Welcome to Home Service Happy Hour, brought to you by Service Monster. That was really loud.
Oh, sorry.
I like it. I needed it. I'm running low on sleep. Hold on, you gonna play music? You can play some music. Yeah, now we're good. Now we're going. No, I needed it. I did the thing. I've done this a couple times recently where I got to do the thing where I make this public. Let me do that. Let me do that before I start telling stories and stuff. We're live. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining. It's Wednesday. I got to make this thing public.
Service Monster intro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Check out our Service Monster intro. Shout out Service Monster. Home Service Happy Hour brought to you by Service Monster. Also brought to you by Michael Gregory and Click Call Cell and Angela Schroeder and Unique Genius VA. And Daniel says, that's what my mouth felt like when I tried to start talking. Is just so much excitement, so many things I wanted to say, and they all came out. They all came out all at once. Good to be back. I took a week off. Last week. I was chasing whitetails around the beautiful state of Illinois. Shot me a nice big buck, and but the thing that happens whenever you take a week off, like, and we probably need to talk about like time off soon. We like to do an episode on like rejuvenating and time off. So we'll do a Terps Up Boots on Ground here radio episode about that. Whatever radio we're on. Heck, this is not here, so we can say whatever the hell we want. But I took that week off, and then the thing that happens whenever you take a week off, which is like I got back Sunday, had unpacking and stuff to do, and then we had a new employee starting Monday, and we just rolled out tax services for our bookkeeping clients. And then you know how when you're an entrepreneur and you roll out a new service, and then you're like, I have a billion things to do. And then my wife is like, oh, by the way, I have international people in town. I'm booked all 4 nights, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you got the kids and all the sports stuff. And meanwhile, I have a deer in the Yeti in the garage that I also need to process. So like every night, like by like 10:30, I start butchering deer. I've got the last 2 nights, I got 1 quarter done, usually around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So if I say stupid shit and I can't talk, it might be the whiskey Coke. It might be the 4 hours of sleep I'm running on. Either way, I love it. Bring it on. It's all temporary. How the hell are you guys doing? Michael, Angela, Jai, how you guys doing?
When my son is overly tired, he is behaving exactly like you're behaving right now. Just so much energy, like the zoomies. Like, and then 2 minutes later, it's like
the dopamine hit.
The maturity, I think, is my ability to carry it on. I think I can carry it on for an entire show. And then I have to carry it on to swim lessons. And then I have to carry it on to feeding my kids. And then I have to carry it on to a podcast tonight. And then after that, I have to butcher at least 1 more quarter of deer. So we're just going to keep this train rolling.
That's a lot of carrying on.
We're just going to carry it on. We just got shit to do. Home Service Happy Hour, again, brought to you by Service Monster. Thank you guys. Thanks, Service Monster, for supporting the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give it a share, give it a like, give it a subscribe. I don't do this often, but on the bottom in this window that you're looking at, if you're watching it live, there's all the different socials. So go check us out on the gram. Go check us out on the TikTok-y. Is that the TikTok logo? That's the TikTok logo, right?
Yeah, it is.
There's just different logos, and you guys probably know more about what they are. Go to the YouTube so you can get like the bites. You can get the little snippets. You can get the shorts. So if you can't catch the whole show, you can get the small show. And go download the podcast. You just go to anywhere you get your podcasts and you click on the button so that it keeps coming to you. Go get the podcast. Yep. Good business entertainment. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a genre yet, but we are the business entertainment podcast. A little bit of business, a lot of entertainment. So I don't know if that's a genre yet, but we're starting it. It is now. So that's what we're doing here.
That's a great genre to be in. Business entertainment. Yes.
Yeah. Sign me up for that.
I like it.
Daniel said, just had to take a week off due to my brain failing me. Much better now. I wonder if my wife would tell you if my brain is better now. I don't know if it is or not, but I got some venison for the freezer. I think I got like 4 more deer to go. But while I was gone, we had an election happen. And we got ourselves not a brand new president. We have ourselves an old, crispy, crusty president that's been a president before. But I try not to talk too much politics because it's just so much bullshit oftentimes. But I feel like this election was super interesting. Super weird candidates, like just interesting. I don't know what I mean by weird, but you guys know what I mean. And it felt like there was more interest in it than usual. And maybe that's just the constant buildup of social media and the people pointing fingers at each other and trying to act like we all hate each other. But it was really interesting and the results were interesting. And I think people's opinions on it are interesting. But anyway, I'm not going to ask. I'm curious. Like Hecubus always has good theories, so I'm curious when he stops blowing leaves and gets his ass on the show here. And Sean, I always love his political perspective because he's just like a Team USA guy, and he likes talking politics, whereas I hate talking politics. So this is like against my better judgment. But just Michael and then Angela. I'm gonna like tell you guys who to talk in which order, so you don't both sit and stare at me when I throw something into the abyss and everybody's like, "Who are you talking to?" So okay. Michael first, then Angela. Give me some initial thoughts. Like, were you watching it? Did you care? Were you surprised? What was your vibe, Michael?
I'm like you. It's uncomfortable being an entrepreneur talking about politics because you're inevitably going to isolate somebody that is like very, fringe on either side. For me personally, I am not an overly like national politic person. I have very little influence on what I do, and how I react to national politics is kind of along the same lines. I actually do get more into local politics myself. But one thing I can say with certainty is that it's going to open a lot of more opportunities for small business. The way the election went, there's going to be a lot more commerce and a lot more money changing hands. And I'm very, very excited about that with this election.
Yeah. Good answer. Good answer. What about you, Angela?
I echo that to Michael. It's hard to like have this I don't like to talk about politics usually publicly because especially this election seemed to so offend people, whatever you said.
Right.
And you hate to do that, but so optimistic about the future for businesses. And so our businesses, the people that we all serve in the future. And I will say one interesting thing, JC would be there are very few things that we like disagree on, and that would be me like making people feel bad about their political opinion. But he got us these shirts, if you didn't see, that we posted on social media. I should have worn one for the episode, I guess.
That would have been good.
And I could not believe he posted that picture of us. I was like, I'll be a sport and wear this picture. And I'm thinking at the same time, like, everyone's going to hate me. I'm going to lose friends and clients and all the things. And I have never received, so people that evidently follow us don't cheer for our victories, don't chime in at anything else.
Yep.
I had so many like hate, like just terrible, not only comments on it, so many comments that we had to delete. Or I did, like things and DMs about what a terrible human being I was, and like people unfriend me. I was shocked.
What always cracks me up about
what
that?
did it say? I haven't seen this picture. Hold on, I need to find this post. Did you delete it?
The picture? No, it's JC. He took a ton of pictures in it, but there's one of us in the kitchen, and it's a couple months ago, and it says convicted felon.
I'm voting for a convicted felon, right? Or something like that.
Kamala Harris, convicted felon, and the check mark is in convicted felon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
You can't do that. You can't do that. But you can't do that as a business owner. I guess you can. I mean, when you're a billionaire and you have FU money, you can kind of do whatever you want.
See, that's what I was like. I was like, no. But anyway, we wore it. It also is like people should be able to have their own opinion, right? Like, I'm not yelling at you for your opinion.
Yeah, I'm not canceling you because you're voting for a different person.
Yeah.
It's just the stupidest thing.
Yeah, totally.
Don't we have I mean, the way it was, whatever. But anyway, that's just as a thing. I was shocked at the number of people who felt, I mean, it just was evidence what a polarizing election this was. Shocked at the amount of like personal attack for that, I guess.
Yeah, I like Daniel. Where do I buy this shirt? I bought a shirt yesterday for my dad. I should probably get one. It's Christmas, so I hope he doesn't listen to this episode. I bought him a shirt that's the map of the US and all the areas that are red. And it's like Trump, beats out Verizon. Can you hear me now? Or whatever the case is. Because it's just right. And this isn't like a surprise. This is what you'd expect. All the big cities are blue and everywhere else is red. And so it's the opposite of like Verizon, like is in the big cities and it spreads out from there. And the super isolated areas on their map are not shaded. And it was the exact opposite, right? It's red everywhere and then blue in the big cities. And so that shirt just cracked me up. So I had to buy one for my dad. I don't know if my mom would wear it. My dad will wear that thing until it falls apart. He is the most gung-ho. He can't wait to tell you about what Fox News said today, dude. Like he listens to that radio, he watches that TV, and I'm like, Dad, like, I'm gonna vote. My parents were like, Did you vote? And I was like, Yep, I'm getting my Kamala vote in. I want that $50,000 she's promising small business owners. And they're like, What? And I'm like, What? You want me to vote, right? And they're like, Well, not if you don't vote for my person. And I'm like, That's the point. Shut up. Stop telling me to vote. Like, you don't want me to vote. You only want me to vote if it's for your person. Like, leave me alone. I don't want your garbage rhetoric from Fox News or from CNN or whatever bullshit media you listen to that's just lying to you and trying to give you sound bites. But so here's my take, Angela, and I will offend some people. I think they're all a bunch of freaking idiots. I think Trump sucks. I think he's an arrogant prick. I don't like him. I don't like him. I voted for him. I don't like him. But I think Kamala's an idiot, and I think she's part of a socialist regime. And I don't think Biden's in charge. And I don't think if Kalama wins, whatever her name is, I don't think she would have been in charge. There's some bullshit going on. They're like flying illegals into swing states to try to get votes. Like that whole liberal party is just garbage. They're so corrupt. Like they have been for years. So like, I can't vote for them. I don't know why anybody would. Frankly, I don't know why anybody would support them. It's just so corrupt. I don't think the Republicans are far behind. I think they're corrupt as hell too. I think they all are. But at least in my mind, Trump's not a politician. He just doesn't give an F. Like, he doesn't care who he offends. He doesn't care what he's doing. And so, like, part of me is like, well, like, you got somebody that I was talking to Jai about this earlier because I was really conflicted in this. The last couple elections, I voted independent. I was like, I hate both of these candidates. I think they both suck. And I know people like they get so bought up and like I'm trying to vote for a person, not against people. And so many people in this country are voting against the other party. They're like, they're wrong. They're this. And it's a two-party system, and therefore I'm going to vote for this person. They're not voting for Kamala. They're not voting for Trump. They're voting against the other person. And I refuse to do that. I think that's just asinine that we're at that level. I really, like, if RFK would have run, totally would have voted for that guy. Like, he's actually a Democrat, but he's like a free market Democrat. He's what the Democratic Party used to stand for until they turned into whatever they are now. And now, in a funny way, I mean, like, Trump was too, right? Trump was a Democrat. RFK was a Democrat. Elon Musk was a Democrat. You have all these like Democrats that are like, wait a second, these guys over here in the Liberal Party aren't Democrats anymore. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, but you have a lot of Democrats that are saying like, never mind, this is crazy over here. I think I would have voted for RFK if he would have stuck with it and ran. He went to 1, and I would have known that, obviously. But like, just to say like, this is the guy I want, right? And I could vote for Trump because I don't believe whatever the Democratic Party of today is doing is right. But I don't like Trump. But here's the end of my rant. And I think this is like a business owner perspective on this. You guys ever interviewed somebody that's really good at interviewing and then they suck at the job? Or vice versa, interviewed somebody where you're like, man, they're just so bad at interviewing, but like, I know they can do this job. I know they'll crush it at this job. That's the election we just had. We have a dude that sucks at interviewing. He's an asshole. He's so defensive and arrogant, but you're like, well, I know this guy can do the job. Like he did the job once pretty damn good before. And then we got this other person that interviews really well up until she runs out of the things that they fed her to say. And then, but like, I also know she can't do the job. Like she just didn't do the job for the last 4 years, but she's a good interviewer. Right. And so you just run into this weird conundrum. And I feel like it's the same thing we run into as business owners. Like, do you hire the person that was good in an interview? Or do you hire the person that you think can actually do the job? And does the interview actually tell you who can do the job? I felt like we had that going on a little bit. It's a little weird.
I can say two things to that. That I agree with literally everything you just said. Two things. One, the most successful person that I know in my life said to me 10 years ago that it doesn't matter who's president, it doesn't matter what's going on with the real estate economy, Bitcoin, whatever. Bitcoin didn't exist. He's like, somebody's always making money. And if you are an entrepreneur, you need to find a way to position and leverage your business, your brand, your service to take advantage of all the rules that are in place. And so us as small business owners, I would say 99.9% of the people listening to this don't have influence in national politics. We're not like messaging our senator or whatever, like one of the people in DC and saying like, hey, I would like to lobby for this thing. So we are playing within the rules. And a lot of people, including myself, believe that the rules have been kind of swayed to the small business entrepreneur's favor right now. And so it doesn't really matter whether you believe, agree, disagree, or whatever, is we're all playing with the same rules. And this is a time to seize and capitalize on this moment. And those people that do take advantage and capitalize on it, regardless of what your personal feelings are, this is your moment to take advantage of. And if you miss this moment because of some external factor you have no influence over, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just always goes back to, and whether it's politics or employees or customers, it's just controlling what you can control.
Mm-hmm.
And I get like voting to me is hilarious. Like the math of it is asinine. I want to vote, right? Like I want to, it's a right that we all have. It's an obligation in a funny way.
Mm-hmm.
But my vote is mathematically wildly irrelevant. You know,
well, where you're voting in the swing state, weren't you? In like one of the swing states?
I'm in Minnesota.
It was a
swing state.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like one of the things.
It's kind of, but even if you look at the difference in the votes, my one vote out of whatever the $50,000 spread or 50,000 vote difference is, like mathematically, my vote is irrelevant. The chance that I'm the vote that is the difference, right? Is, and I'm just going pure probabilities here. Is just like, it doesn't make any sense if you've just looked at it that way. It's like, it's irrelevant. Why am I spending any time on this? We do, and I did, but I do think that's funny. Just we're worried about something that's out of our control. Like our control is so small, and what we can control is, to what you said, Michael, just the decisions we're making in our business.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's out there buying stuff, and are we out there selling it?
Yep.
And what are we going to do about it? And we're going to play by whatever set of rules these politicians give us. But that's all we can control. And so, like, if your person didn't win, if you're a big Kamala fan, like, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Control what you can control. If you're a Trump fan, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just not going to change much. And Michael, I think you said earlier, like, maybe some more money gets put into play. And so whoever you voted for, it doesn't matter. Go control what you can control. It's over. It's irrelevant. You're going to play by the same set of rules as everybody else. So Go play the game. Go have some fun. Go play the game. Enjoy your freedom.
And even if the other side won, same thing applies. Just maybe a little bit more difficult to navigate. Somebody's going to become a millionaire regardless of who's president. That's a fact. All of our businesses have grown and all of our lives are more successful. I can't speak if we're listening, but the people in this call are better off than they were 4 years ago. That's fact. So, like, wasn't that bad? You know,
couldn't have been that bad. Couldn't have been that bad. I should have not started my own business and then complained that it was Biden's fault. Couldn't do it.
Could have done that.
Couldn't start my new business. Couldn't fire it up. Biden made it impossible. How is Joe Biden? Is he still alive? Does anybody know?
I loved all the conspiracy theories all the times when he was never cited. I mean, I will say there are some funny moments we have to say during the election, like the first debate. Like, who let him on the stage?
That was embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Just the two oldest white. Here's the two oldest white guys we can find. This is pure entertainment. Let's line them up and let's see. It should have been a boxing match. It really should have been just a boxing match. Screw
We
question.
did a lot of international travel during like election season. We went to Ireland, and then we were over, and then we went a lot of places on our trip over to the Philippines and Thailand, and it's just embarrassing. I mean, other countries looking at us and looking at that debate, like.
That it is. It's like hilariously embarrassing, but it also makes you wonder, like, who's actually running our country?
Yeah,
It ain't him. It ain't him. So is it Kamala? Well, she's out doing campaign stuff. She ain't running it. Who is it? Who's back there? Who's doing it?
Well, none of us know. So anything we say is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's like, where's Hecubus when you need him? He's got a
Russell,
theory.
yeah. Russell
Yeah,
would
but
know.
he doesn't know either. Like, it's like seriously, nobody knows.
Somebody knows.
Some
Somebody
guy
knows.
behind a curtain named Oz, like spinning his little bicycle wheels.
Somebody knows. Somebody's back there and they know.
Maybe it was Gandalf.
Could have been. This is likely as anything. I did think it was really interesting to me, and I'm curious to watch how this plays out. And again, like, I'm very much an independent. I just don't like either of our parties. I don't think our two-party system's going anywhere, but it's just, I don't like that we vote against people. It really bugs me. And so I mentioned, I don't know, a month or two ago, my idea of having Republicans vote for Democrats to be on certain panels and Democrats vote for Republicans. They don't get to vote for each other. They have to vote for the other party for things like abortion and things that are very much like 50-50 splits. I think that would be a way to like get people back to the middle instead of like the extreme stuff. But it's been interesting to watch people switching parties and like what the parties are doing. And I don't know what's behind the scenes of it, but like when RFK, who's trying to run as a Democrat, like switches parties, or Elon Musk, who's been a his entire life, or even Trump back for a little while ago. And I would assume there's people switching the other way too. Like, I'm really curious to what is causing it, what the motivations are. Does it mean anything? Is it like a socialist regime thing that's going on, which is what the Republican Party would lead you to believe if you watch any Fox News, at least according to my dad, because I get all my Fox News snippets from my dad. I don't need to watch any Fox News just to know what Fox News thinks. My dad will for sure tell me whether I like it or not, and usually I do not. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, that's enough. Next time I'm just going to watch CNN for like an hour before I see him. And then I'm just gonna be like, let me tell you all the opposite things of what you just said that are equally as ridiculous. Just to drive him nuts. It'll be great. Just gonna troll my old man with some liberal media. But it does, like, watching these party switches going on just kind of makes me wonder, like, what's happening behind the scenes? Like, will we know? And Trump had said, I was trying to watch I've been watching it like after the fact here, trying to like understand some of the things that happened. Joe Rogan interviewed Elon, interviewed Trump, interviewed JD Vance, tried to interview Kamala, but they just made it weird and it didn't end up happening. But like, I'm watching them in arrears. And one of the interesting things that Trump was saying is he wants to open the JFK assassination files and like bring it out. And I was just like there's a lot of conspiracy shit in there of what, and RFK addressed it on some things. Like, RFK knows, it's his freaking uncle, right? And so he addressed it a little bit of like what he knows to be the truth, but who knows if he knows what he doesn't know, what somebody else knows, you know? Right? Am I right? But so I thought that was kind of interesting, as Trump was like, it's been long enough. We all need to know, even though like multiple people encouraged him not to open the file, apparently. And he did his Trump thing. He's like, this guy's a great guy. This guy's the greatest of guys. He's a super great guy, and he's going to be great. And I love how great he is. And he told me not to do it, so I didn't do it. But I kind of did it. I did like half of it, but I didn't do it all the way because he's such a great guy. You know what I mean? Michael, you're laughing. How did I do? That's pretty much, did I do a
Nice
Trump?
impression. Good impression,
it's the
man.
best impression I've ever heard. I actually recorded. I'm going to send it to SNL and see if we can get you on the.
Dude, Shane Gillis does the best Trump impression. Like Shane Gillis absolutely nails Trump from the look to the way he says it. Like if you want to go make fun of Trump, Shane Gillis is your guy. It is absolutely outstanding. But I just thought that was weird. Like he's I think his goal is to like try to cut through the political corruption and the hiding and the secrets and whatever. That intrigues me because I don't trust politicians, as you can tell already in this episode. I just don't trust them. I don't think they have our best interests at heart. I think they very much are insider trading and they're colluding and doing shit to keep their positions as politicians and not necessarily worried about our best interests. But it'd be interesting. And again, I think Trump is maybe the only one to do it because I don't think he gives a shit because he's just not a politician. And he's just like, I'm just going to do whatever I'm going to do. He's crazy. It'd be interesting if he like brings forth some otherwise things that are under lock and key that the government won't tell us. Anyway, I'm rambling. That was a lot. Angela, go. You look like you had a thing you were going to say.
No, I love it all. I hope he does open conspiracy theories that everyone's always like talked about. I think people say they don't want him to open the ones because they were things within the government. Like they were cover-ups and scandals of the government. And so I think people are telling him it'll make people lose faith in the government and in the U.S.
I mean, yeah, how crazy would it be? There are aliens. The Earth is flat. We never landed on the moon. Like, it'd be crazy if all that stuff was like, you know? I mean, the Earth isn't flat.
Is it not?
But there definitely is a conspiracy around Kennedy's assassination. I mean, there's stuff we don't know.
Yeah,
for sure.
And there's a file. They have a file. Somebody
but
knows.
I think a lot of it is bringing to light and like truly admitting that the government was behind conspiracies, right? So then it undermines just party having nothing to do with a party. The agencies that we are supposed to respect to uphold the law and trust to uphold the law. I think that's probably why people are encouraging him not to open them, because then
but we already don't. Maybe I'm the only one, but I think we already don't trust the government. So maybe he's doing it to be like, we need to build trust. So we got to be honest, right? Because how are you going to build trust by like, no, we don't want to lose trust, so we're going to keep hiding shit from you guys. Like, honey, Marty, I don't want you to trust. I really want to make sure I keep your trust as my spouse. So I'm going to keep hiding a bunch of shit from you. Like, would you ever, Angela, you're going to go say that to JC? Like, JC, I want to make sure you trust me. Therefore, I'm going to make sure I don't tell you what's going on. Trust.
That's true. That's true. That's a great point. It is a way to build trust. Open it up.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Don't tell us all the military stuff. We don't want to know, and we don't want our enemies to know. Other than that, tell us what happened to Kennedy. Tell us about all the whatever Watergate stuff you got going on. Like, let's build some trust. We need some trust building. Trust building.
And the aliens, to Michael's point. Let's go ahead and hear about this.
Well, I was having a conversation with some pretty intelligent people, I don't know, a couple months ago. And one person said, where we're going is nobody's going to know what's true and what's not true. Because if you said, you mentioned your dad, like just watching Fox News all the time and somebody else is watching CNN all the time, like they're both completely convinced that they're right. And they are the truth.
Absolutely.
And I mean, one of them might be, neither of them might be. I don't even know what the issue is, but we don't even know what the truth is right now. And so all we can do is kind of just use all the data that we get, kind of make our own decision up and then kind of go in that direction. But that's where we're going. And at some point in time, that is going to break. That thing right there is like, we're going to all realize that we've been duped by something, right? And it's like, now I don't know what to believe. So what's the next step after that? Like, we're just all skeptics all the time.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I'm scared of AI. Is it's gonna dupe us all, and then eventually we're all gonna be like in the Matrix in little pods being batteries. That's what's happening.
We are right now. That's what I mean. Yeah, we're there.
We're there. We're just or maybe we're already the animated whatever Matrix version of being.
We're somebody's crazy video game. We are a sim.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control myself. Somebody's making me do this. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Daniel said something that I want to get into because I think this is super interesting. He said the U.S. government has over 400 agencies. We will never know the truth of the big conspiracies. I'm really interested. Like one thing I'm super excited about, and like a thing that has driven me nuts about our government forever, is just how much money they spend on themselves and how inefficient they are. Right? Have you ever had to call the IRS for your business or for anything personal, or any other government agency to do anything? It is awful. If my business worked the way that does, we are out of business immediately, right? They're so inefficient, so non-customer focused, so bad. Not everybody, right? There's some good people there for sure, but there's a lot of real bad ones, and they're just sitting around doing nothing useful. At least that's my perception. I drove past the construction site yesterday and I saw a lot of that going on. There were 2 people working and 4 people leaning. And I was like, this is great dudes. But with Elon's appointment as whatever the efficiency guru is supposed to be, I don't know exactly how he's going to do it or what exactly he's going to do. But the idea of somebody going through all of this government bullshit and trying to figure out what's actually useful and what's not, and what are we as taxpayers just paying for, right? And we're borrowing money to pay for it at a ridiculous rate. What the hell are we paying for that we don't need to be paying for? And it's a thing we all do in our businesses all the time, right? We're looking through softwares that we paid for and that we're still signed up for. We're looking through employees that are still doing this or doing that. Like we're constantly doing all these efficiency measures. And we're talking about the biggest business that has only one way to get revenue. Well, I mean, they have a lot of ways to get revenue, but they have one source of their revenue, and that's you and I. We are it, right?
I'll say one thing that might be controversial because I want to stay away from controversial things as much as possible and be as vanilla as possible on this call.
Yeah.
I am a proud Tesla owner. I will own another Tesla, and I love Tesla. It does feel a little bit oligarchy-y when the richest person in the world is all of a sudden butting up with and getting super involved with the biggest government with the most money in the entire world that has a lot of opportunities for contracts. So that feels a little weird to me because it wasn't like that a few years ago. And now all of a sudden, like the richest person in the world wants to be involved in the biggest government in the world when they weren't even born here. That feels weird to me.
It does feel weird. And I don't know what we would do about it, but I don't know that there's the person that can run the most successful businesses, hopefully could help our government get their heads out of their asses and run like a successful business and be responsible with the revenue that they generate and not just hire people to hire people.
Oh, no, I agree. I like the qualifications for sure. But why? You have does he care about our country where he wasn't born so much that he wants our efficiency to be great? He's got $300 billion or whatever. I don't know how much he's worth, but like
I don't know if it matters where he was born. I think you could argue that because he's here and the livelihood that he's generated by being here, he might give a shit more than people that have been born here. Like it gave him everything.
Down. Yep, I can see that.
Just to play devil's advocate on your devil's advocacy.
No, when I saw that, I was like, this feels a little bit awkward to me. But I mean, I'm not like up in arms about it. I don't really care. Again, it doesn't affect my life directly.
Yeah, I think it's a good call out. I think I'm super interested to see what comes of it. Like, it's one of those things. It reminds me of when you're like, I don't know what the role is, but I know I need to hire this person. And so I'm going to hire this person and just make up a job for him. Like, and we've probably all done that before where you just feel like you have the right person. And you're like, I need to get this person on my team and I'm going to just figure out a role for him. You see it in sports all the time where it's like, this dude's an athlete. And we're just going to like figure out how to like build a role for him. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yep. Percy Harvin.
Who's the dude that's like there's a tight end that plays for the Saints, Tatum, Hill.
Oh yeah.
Hill starts as a Hill. He used to play for the Packers. He was on the Packers and they
Yep.
Taysom Hill. He was on the Packers, and they just could not. They're like, this guy can throw, he can run, he can catch, literally, and he's big. He can freaking do everything. And we're like, yeah, we got to cut him. And the Saints are like, yeah, we'll take the most talented dude that can literally do everything. And so they play him as a tight end, but they'll run the ball with him. They'll throw him the ball, and he'll throw the ball, right? Like, how the hell do you defend that? I don't think the Saints even use him enough. Like, he's just big and talented. But I feel like that's kind of the thing. It's like, well, we got this guy, and he's real good. We'll figure it out. So I'm curious to see if they figure it out, how they figure it out, what he's going to do. Joe Rogan challenged him on their podcast of like, what are you going to do? What does this look like? And how are you going to do it? You already are so busy, right? You're so involved. You got your own businesses. How the hell are you going to find time to do this? And Elon was basically just like, I don't know, just will. Just what I do. It's like, that's a pretty good answer. I don't know what else you would say to respond to that. Like, I'm just gonna do it. So I'm super intrigued to see that. Super intrigued to see this JFK file. Want to see me some of that. Want to see what's going on. Did you guys hear?
Yes.
I know RFK's been on a few podcasts, but the one I listened to is the Meat Eater podcast because, of course, it's a hunting podcast. But they had RFK on before he had withdrawn, and they asked him about it, and he like went through some of the stuff and like named who done it, and like went through some of the things. And so maybe like it's already kind of out there. Have you guys heard any of that piece of it from RFK about the JFK thing?
No.
Super interesting. It's if you go to the Meat Eater episode with RFK on it, like super interesting interview, besides the fact that he always sounds like he's going to die because of his throat thing. Other than that, late in the episode, he gets into a bunch of the JFK stuff, kind of like past the midway point. Just super interesting. I don't know that it's probably not everything. My Cliff Notes version is the CIA done it. The CIA called the shot to wipe out the president. And it was like, here's who was part of it, and here's who's still alive, and here's who's dead, type of thing. And he kind of went right at it. And I was just like, oh, damn. Like, I knew that was one of the theories. I don't know if I missed something and everybody else already knew this, and I was still thinking it was the dude from the roof or whatever. But apparently it was like a dude right behind JFK that was like walking in it that shot him. So anyway, go check it out. It's freaking cool. I'm sure I got bits and pieces of it wrong, but it was super interesting. And maybe we'll get the real version of it from Trump, whatever it is. What are you guys anything like you're excited about going forward or worried about going forward? Yeah, Daniel said RFK says it's the CIA. Which like I don't know how. Like who was giving the CIA that order? The CIA just doesn't come up with their own hits, do they? Doesn't have to come from like the president. Did the president be like, I think we got to stir things up? I say, I think we got to mix things up. I say, take me out, you know? So I'm excited to see what the hell Elon's job is. I'm actually really excited to see what RFK does. Like I said, he would have been my pick. I'm not a Trumper. I definitely didn't want Kamala in there. I don't think she's a bad person. I just don't think she can do the job. I thought RFK had some really good ideas around free markets, energy markets, how the energy markets work. He's a business dude. Like he's a business Democrat. And I think we're like missing that person. And so that would have been my pick. But
I think he's going to be involved though. Trump said he's going to be very involved. So
yeah. The minute RFK like withdrew, he joined Team Trump, which I was just like, like what's good? What's happening in our country that the Democrats are like, I'm joining the Republicans. I'm out of here. And that's why I'm like, there's something behind the scenes that we don't know about, that like Democrats that are more, maybe like pro-business Democrats are like, there's something fishy going on. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we will know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Somebody knows. Who knows? What do you excited
to see what he does, how Trump does. I mean, bring in RFK, Elon, what all these people bring to the table of uncovering. I mean, all of them are about uncovering things.
It's going to be a lot more organized than it was before. I guarantee that. Like
than it has been the last 4 years, or than it was
the first time. Yeah, the first time it was like he didn't know what he was doing, didn't know what he was surrounding himself with, and now the plan is in place. Like they're going to hit the ground running from day one.
Yeah. They've said,
But
I mean, think of how much time it saves when you come in as a president and all your people, you bring in all new team. And first you have to figure out what the rules are, how to use the rules for the first couple of years. And like Michael said, they've been planning this for 4 years, building the team, figuring it out, making the strategy, so that stuff can really get done.
It was, so 2 thoughts. One is totally agree. And Trump already gets stuff done really fast. It'll be really interesting to see like how fast now. It was really interesting to see. I mean, like what the war in Israel pretty much stopped already. And Putin was like, yep, ready to come to the table and talk. Like the minute the election happened, like these international wars that are going on, just all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we should probably talk about it. And I'm just like, Jesus, the guy's not even president yet. And the people that are like starting these wars are already being like, hey, we should probably end this war. I think it'd be a good idea now to wrap this baby up. Like we should talk. It's like, what? Like the guy's not even president yet. Did you guys see that? Like any of those? I don't know if they're real.
But I mean, I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just heard it from you.
Yeah. I don't know. It could have been just Fox News bullshit that my dad fed me. Right. So I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. I'm just podcast host.
I was being truthful when I said at the beginning, I'm not that close to it.
Yeah. But like a couple places I had seen that the war in Israel, who are they fighting? Palestinians. True. The there's a word for them, the people that the Israelis are fighting. Y'all know, who I'm talking about. But that part of it's interesting to me too. Like, is it just the impact on national trade, the impact on international wars and stuff, and people acting like jackasses? There's another thing.
But that's amazing if people are already coming to the table. I mean, that means that there is a level of fear.
Hummus. It's like hummus, but it's not
Daniel,
quite.
How do you know all these things?
Yeah, hummus.
You should probably get.
It's made with chickpeas.
Yeah, you should probably send Daniel an invite.
Yeah.
Just to get him on here.
That's right.
Yeah.
But then nobody would be watching. If Daniel wasn't there watching, then nobody would be watching. So
look what he said. This is what I do.
This is what I do. I'm excited for like the economic impact of it, like you said, Michael. I think just this is me being hopeful, but the last year has been rough on a lot of our clients, and some have exceeded, and done well, but the consumer definitely clammed up for the last 12 months during this election process. And I think some of it's recessionary pressures and some of it's the uncertainty, and it probably all boils together. But I don't have anything. There's nothing I can do about it. It's not a strategy. This is just a hope thing. I hope the market comes back as far as it sagged the last year and then some. And it like the stock market jumped right away. And so hopefully people get their confidence back to keep growing and doing sweet stuff so that all of our clients can keep growing and doing sweet stuff, and makes all of our lives a little bit more fun running our businesses.
Yes.
Hopeful for that.
I agree. If you follow Ray Dalio, do you follow Ray Dalio at all? Principles,
No.
Great book. Radical Transparency. Actually, Click Call Sells core value. One of our core values, Radical Transparency, was inspired by Ray Dalio's book Principles. They would put like the scorecards within the huge hedge fund management company, and put like everybody's performance for everybody to see in the entire company. Like you could see the VP of marketing and how they're doing, so everybody could see it. Anyway,
that's awesome.
He's really big into global finance and everything. Follow Ray Dalio if you're not. He's like, the success of an economy, any country, any state, any city, whatever, is the amount of transactions that are happening. And so you want to be successful, more transactions need to be happening. And I feel like that is going to be true now. Even if it's just because people believe we're going to be more successful, they're still going to be spending and getting more money. And so I think it's just a fact that we're going to be more successful, at least in the short term.
Yeah, and especially in an economy, the only thing that makes it successful or unsuccessful is if people believe, right? Because if they believe it, it becomes true. At that mass level, if people think things are good, they behave like things are good, they spend money like things are good, and therefore they make things good. But if they believe things are bad, they hide, they stop spending money, and when they stop spending money, in turn, they make things bad. And you can't collectively tell 300 to 400 million people, hey, y'all, like, this is why we have the Fed trying to manipulate shit with interest rates of like, it's not so bad. It'll be fine. You can spend money. They're just trying to manipulate people's emotions about whether we're good or we're bad so that we don't go bad. Because if people think we're bad, then in turn, therefore we are bad.
Yeah.
And that's not good. It's bad.
And
Am I right?
Angela, don't let JC pressure you into wearing overly political shirts anymore. Just
Peer pressure. He's going to get you that one with the map of the U.S. with the "Can you hear me now?" Verizon thing.
Oh gosh,
The next one. That'll be the next one.
I think we're out.
So under a new presidency, does it change? And I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question because I'm a podcast host and we got to ask questions. Does it change what you guys do? Does it change how you run your business? Does it change what you think or how you communicate to clients or things that you might launch or do differently?
Well, I think we are out of that area of uncertainty. We couldn't like deny that, right? In the last, like you said, 12 months, I think especially in the last few months leading up to the election, there was this level of uncertainty and people were hanging, like weren't making decisions, weren't making those transactions, which affected all of our clients. And so it affected us. And now just that removing that, I feel like everything we talked about, there's more belief with them. So it's like just this fog lifted or weight lifted from everyone, from our clients, so that like everyone's ready to run forward.
Hell yeah. Michael, you mixing anything up? Or you have so many new things going on. Before we even jumped on live today, you're like, hey, wait, take a look at this. I got this other new thing that I'm doing. That's the 78th new thing I thought of today.
Yeah, so that's actually one of my issues for my company right now is that the opportunities are abundant, and how do you choose which one of these opportunities you're going to jump on? Because my whole mantra is do less better, and here I am with like 35 really cool things that I want to work on, but I'm just one person, so I need to streamline that down a little bit, which is why I was planning on putting that thing on pause until I showed you, and you're like, this is amazing. So
that's super cool, dude. Super cool.
It's super cool, right?
But it doesn't mean you can't do it, right? But it is easier and better to do one thing at a time than to try to do 30 things over time. Like if you can just do one thing at a time, you can get it done, you can get it established, you can get it working, and then start working on the next one.
Perfect segue to the question you asked, though, is I want to take advantage of this opportunity we have right now for what I said earlier about my friend, and that is there's so much optimism with entrepreneurs right now and small business owners right now, and so much hope. But with opportunity doesn't mean cash. Opportunity doesn't mean profit. And so one of the things that I've seen after coaching hundreds and hundreds of home service companies over the years is honestly, it's a lot easier to make the phone ring than it is to be profitable. And I want to really dive in deep to not only helping people take advantage of the opportunity they have right now, but how do you actually make money off of this rather than just creating sales? Because sales feels good, but profits pay the bills and build wealth for your family and generational. And that's where I want to really focus my attention on.
I dig it. And I think you got a lot of value to add there. A lot of value.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Hell yeah.
So do you.
I'm thinking about it now as I asked you guys the question, because in my mind I was like, I don't really have anything going. I don't have any plans. It's literally like October 31st. I sent an email out to our client list. It was like, hey, we're going to start offering tax services. And it just happened to happen. That's a weird thing to say back to back, but I don't think it's wrong. It just happened to happen right as this election was happening. Jesus balls. We'd be done with that word yet? Jeez Louise. But it is kind of funny because people don't like to switch stuff during uncertain times. And they don't switch stuff when they're really busy, and they don't switch stuff when they're really uncertain. They just keep doing what they're doing. And so when you remove the uncertainty, and I've talked about this over the last couple months on the show, is like, we're brought to you by Service Monster. Highly recommend it. Go check out Service Monster, you guys. It's freaking great. But don't change now. You're busy. I mean, in like maybe a couple weeks you won't be. Then go check it out. but don't try to change like the most important thing in your business while you're driving full speed. It ain't going to go well. And likewise, and not that I would, if you are uncertain, then maybe you do need change, right? Don't change because you're busy and you are certain. But if you are uncertain and you're just clamming up and frozen up and you don't know what to do next, then I would recommend you do change, right? The change is probably the thing you need. We like launched the tax thing, not as hey, we need to go do more stuff. But I launched it because I see a bunch of people not changing. They're uncertain. They know what they have sucks. They don't know what's better. They don't want to do it themselves. They don't know how to do it themselves. And I see this over and over again. And I've like refused to do taxes for people forever. I do not want to do people. In fact, I'm not the one doing the taxes. Like I now brought on a tax guy because I'm not going to do the damn taxes. I don't want to do taxes. I don't want to do my taxes. But so many people were sticking with their shitty tax person who doesn't communicate, who doesn't care about their business, who gives them no advice, no coaching, no guidance, but they just stick with them because they're uncertain and they're scared. And it's not, sometimes they stick with them because they're too busy, but a lot of times they stick with them because of uncertainty. And so I literally just launched our tax service. It's only for bookkeeping clients of ours. So if you're out there and you hear this and you're like, oh, I need a new tax person, don't come to me, brah. Only if you're a bookkeeping client. If you want bookkeeping, we can do bookkeeping, but taxes are just the thing you do after the fact. Bookkeeping is what matters. That's how you get your data. That's how you get your finance stuff. That's how you grow your business, make decisions, have confidence, hire Michael, hire Angela, grow your business, do sweet stuff. Then you do your taxes after that. Taxes are just an afterthought. They're a thing that happens at the end. Yeah, they take some on top ofness, but not like bookkeeping does. Bookkeeping is where the money's at. That's where you grow a business. But I just saw so many of our people like complaining and not solving it. And I think it comes with the uncertainty of the last year. Like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. So why would I change something? Because I don't know. So my challenge would be, if you don't know, go change some shit so you can figure it out. Go start changing stuff. If you don't know.
And the next time it happens, don't think that you don't know what's going to happen. So just keep going and execute on your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep doing it. And if I'm only saying that because you're not in international trade running shipping containers and cargo in the beginning of COVID. Like, you are running a painting company, a landscaping company. Like, just do it.
Go do more of it. Go tell people about it, and then they hire you and you go do more of it. And if you're not sure and you don't have a plan, then go talk to Michael so you can get a plan. Be sure. Did you roll out your new marketing coaching thing, or am I jumping the gun?
No, I'm working on it right now. No, I mean, we can talk about it. It's
literally right now. Like I'm
working on like the dashboard. Well, I'm working with Best Damn Bookkeeping to have like working with bookkeepers to do profit coaching. So yeah, I'm rolling this thing out. It's going to be basically, I want to work for your company for $50,000 a year and literally do all of your systems for marketing, sales, and administrative, like the automation, sales scripts, sales processes, all the marketing, and do business coaching for you and your team so that you can elevate and become profitable. So it's basically all your digital marketing, all your sales, and all your admin scripts done for you for $50,000 a year. I'm your employee for an hour a week.
Oh yeah.
It's called Made to Scale.
Made
to Scale.
Jai, I saw what you put on the screen there. The we make bookkeeping not suck. And I think we now need to say and taxes too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, because now we do
update the website then. Mike, we should update Dan's website then. We
make bookkeeping not suck and taxes too, I guess.
Yeah, we can. I know how to edit Dan's website.
No, I'm excited for it's nice to be excited. It's nice to be excited for what the future holds. I'm excited for small business owners, and when I get excited for small business owners, I get excited for us to be able to help more small business owners. I'm super excited to make some chili, as Daniel says here, make some of the Steve Ranella chili with some of that venison. I got recipes coming out of the wazoo over here. I can't wait to start cooking that baby up.
Epic mealtime. Epic mealtime time.
Gotta go get more of it tonight.
Epic mealtime time.
Yeah. Ben and I have a show. Jai has produced one episode for us, but we just haven't made more content. Ben and I
Oh,
have a YouTube channel called I think we got to change the name of it. It's
Outdoorsman
out it's
business.
out Dudesman's Outdoor Adventures
Yeah, that one.
Outdoors.
That one.
Dudesman's Outdoor Adventures Outdoors. That's our
Yeah, I
show
haven't.
name. We have
Yeah,
one episode so far that Jai
I
made for
haven't.
us
Yeah,
2 years ago.
I haven't talked to Ben recently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we already Ben and I have talked about we need to hire an intern that can come and film us, and then we'll send it to Jai to produce it, and then we'll have
yeah,
hunting show.
yeah, I'll be waiting for it.
We'll be stacking deer up like crazy. I won't even be bookkeeping anymore. We'll just be deer hunting. Go as you guys go into next year. As Michael said, the politics don't matter. Just run your business, do sweet stuff, have some fun, grow your business. Make sure you have a great CRM. Go check out Service Monster. The QR code is on here. I tell people all the time that do a demo call with me about bookkeeping. And one of my questions is, what CRM do you have? And if they say, I don't have a CRM, I say, you need to do that first before you hire me. You need to operate your business like a real business, like a professional. If you're writing shit on paper and doing carbon copies, you need to grow up and get your head out of your ass and get into the 21st century and get a CRM, and you need to go get Service Monster. Then you can hire me for bookkeeping, and anywhere in between or before or after that, get marketing to grow your business. Talk to Michael. Get administrative help to answer the phone and do your follow-ups and organize your life and organize your business's life. So talk to Angela at Unique Genius. And Sean, who's not on here, you're going to need some technicians. You might need a salesperson locally. You're going to need help. Can't grow a business without a bunch of help, because if you don't have a bunch of good employees, you can't hire Michael, and then you can't hire Angela because you don't have enough going on to even need anybody's help. So then you use Hire Lead Chill to go get some employees. There's a reason why we're all here. That's what I'm saying. There's a reason why we're all here trying to help you. So thanks, Michael. Thanks, Angela. Sean, where the hell are you today, man? Where did Sean go? I thought he was going to be here. I thought he was supposed to be here.
Angela, do you have 3 minutes? You want to stay on so I can show you that thing I was showing Dan?
Yes, I want to.
I gotta
And
go.
Quick plug shout out. We have
I'll Facebook message you a link if Dan is too important for us.
okay.
I know. I
JC and I are going
kids'
live.
lessons.
JC
go ahead,
and I are
Angela.
going live in an hour to talk about sales boost.
Oh, this will take 3 minutes.
Nice.
You can both stay
So
on.
I'm just telling the listeners to come watch it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
go.
Oh,
That went
Again.
right over Michael's head. Went right over Michael's head.
Go say it
actually,
again,
worked out
Angela.
better.
Go say it again, Angela.
In an hour, just check out my Facebook page for JC's. We're going live with Kurt Kempton.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Talk about Responsicon and
I've got Kurt. I'm waiting for. I think Kurt and I are waiting on Jamie Schmidt to give us some dates, and so we'll get them on a late night happy hour episode. Angela, we should get you and JC on a late night happy hour episode. Michael, we got to get you back on a late night happy. We do all these, but we got to like talk about Click Call Sell specifically, so we got to schedule one tonight.
Nice.
Tonight on the episode, as I often do after a trip, we got a business owner trip recap. We had 6 business owners there, all hunting together, and we didn't kill each other. We didn't kill each other. So huge success. We did kill 5 or 6 deer. We'll have to do a recap of it. Some dandies too. Had a lot of fun doing it. Jai, play some music. I got to go get the kids for swimming lessons. Happy Wednesday. We'll see you guys back in like a little over 4 hours here for the late night episode. Until then, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. Peace.
Hey, Dan.